Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain, and welcome back to my PAX Unplugged coverage. This is going to be the final video in all of the videos I've done on PAX Unplugged 2022. This is the wrap-up video where I'm going to talk about my takeaways and my feelings about PAX Unplugged, the good, the bad, the ugly, the what has improved, what has not improved for the convention this year. So I arrived in Philadelphia the day before the convention, and just like last year, was able to go over the day before the convention, get my my badge, because they don't mail out press passes, so I was able to get it there at the convention, as well as pick up my bracelet for being vaccinated. Now, of course, this convention does require you to be vaccinated. I have to say they were very well organized in giving out the bracelets this year. They had tons of people set up to do it, and there didn't seem to be much of a big line that I noticed at any point for people getting their vaccination bracelets, especially since they had a ton of people there the day before the convention giving people bracelets. So that was really good. I thought the organization behind that was excellent, and to actually improve from last year, because they didn't have nearly as many people working on giving badges early or bracelets early. So that was really good. Okay, so now for the convention, the first thing I want to talk about is something that has not improved. This is kind of a negative. So I have previously talked about that at the times when the exhibit hall at PAX Unplugged opens throughout the weekend, there is this thing that has happened in the past, and it still happened this year, where they have a bunch of doors and they have people by those doors, but they refuse to open them. You can only go in through the main way. And when you go in through the main way, even though it's supposed to be open, they put you in these corrals with a bunch of people, and you have to wait for them to let everybody in, all on one side of the exhibit hall, even though in like 15 minutes they're going to open all the doors anyway. And it's like, why? It's a very unnecessary, kind of ridiculous thing. The only thing Mike and I could figure out as to why they might be doing it is someone was there with a camera videoing everybody coming in, but that is a ridiculous inconvenience to put on people just so you can get a good shot. And I'm someone who walks around videoing constantly. It's a ridiculous inconvenience to put on people just to get a good shot for a video someone was doing. If that's the reason, that is. I don't know if that's the reason in reality. I really wish they would stop doing that. I wish when it's time to open the convention, especially since they have people at multiple other doors, everywhere they have someone at a door, they should just open those doors and start letting people in there. I mean, you've already got someone there. They could easily be checking that everyone who's going in has a badge. It's silly to me. Okay, that said, on a positive note, they've started taking some steps towards doing event registration electronically. Mike went and got in on a role-playing game this year. He signed up for it in person, but while he was on the line, he found out that a lot of the games had, right at that time, gone live on the internet for being able to register for that game. Which, now, it would be better if they did it more like how Gen Con does it, where if it was ahead of time and you could fill out a list and say, this is my first priority for 8 o'clock on Friday morning, 8 o'clock, and then if I don't get it, this is my second choice, and if I don't get that, this is my third choice, if I don't get that, this is my fourth choice, which is what Gen Con lets you do. But at least beginning to have some of the events be available to sign up for on the internet is a step in the right direction. I still can't believe that a convention in the year 2022 is only taking its baby steps into letting you sign up for events on the internet, but I'll take this as a positive because I feel like it's a move in the right direction. They need to do away with, like, you have to show up and wait in a giant line on the morning of to get in on a particular game event. I really feel like they should move towards a more internet-based model and also have those tickets available ahead of time. But if this is an indication that that's where it's going, I'm going to take this as a big positive. Now, the convention itself was awesome. It was great. There were a ton of people there. There were a ton of exhibitors there. The exhibit hall felt packed. It felt busy with exhibitors. There weren't a lot of holes and spaces where exhibitors normally are, while at the same time, This convention has wider aisles than Gen Con does, so you never felt like you hit a traffic jam or a quagmire. People were fairly spread out. They were all over the place at different booths, and the aisles were wide enough that you didn't really hit those kind of log jams, which was really good. And that is something that I've said before about PAX that they do really well. They use their space very well. They don't shove everything in so close to each other that you wind up like elbow to elbow with everybody when you're trying to go down aisles all the time, which is a really good thing. And again, the variety of exhibitors at PAX Unplugged is great. And overall, their expo hall feels like a smaller version of Gen Con's exhibitor hall, which is a good thing, except again, like I said, with more space. So that was really good. They had a lot of demoing going on. I got in on some game demos, which was awesome. I got to try a few different games. They had a lot of companies there. And overall, it definitely felt like a return to the numbers that we saw at PAX Unplugged before the pandemic, which you know is very positive in my book. Very much thought that overall the organization of the convention was very good. Again, just like at previous PAXs, I have to say that PAX Unplugged being in the Philadelphia Convention Center, which is a really cool and nice convention center, it being literally across the street from the Reading Terminal Market, which has every variety of food imaginable, is so awesome. Even though the market gets really packed, I ate in there a lot. And I ate a lot of different kinds of food because you can find almost anything at the Reading Terminal Market. That place is great for eating. So big thumbs up for me on that. I love the location, I love the convention center, and I love that there's so much food in the area available. And overall, even though, like I said, my one gripe on their organization was not having the events able to be booked way ahead of time, which I do feel like they should do, overall, the rest of the organization felt really good. The convention ran very smoothly. I did not talk to anybody having a bad time, and I talked to a lot of people. Everybody seemed very positive. Everybody was really enjoying it. Yeah, so PAX Unplugged 2022 for me, big thumbs up. Really had a good time. If you saw my haul video, I got a ton of stuff at the convention. I can't wait to start covering and start playing all these games. I got so many awesome games. Big shout out to everyone who made the convention a great time, to all the exhibitors and all the people who work hard at PAX Unplugged. And you know what? I can't wait for next year. At this point, I have decided that PAX Unplugged is one of my must-attend conventions. There will occasionally be other conventions I try and decide if I like them enough to go back, but PAX Unplugged is an every year thing for me. I love going out. A big reason I love going out, and a big shout out to my buddy Mike, who lives near Philadelphia. Mike lives out there now. He's a friend I grew up with. He's one of my oldest. In fact, I think he is my oldest friend in the world. We've been friends since elementary school, and I love the excuse to go hang out with him and go to the convention with him. And we had an absolute blast this time. So yeah, definitely. If you've never gone to PAX Unplugged and you have the chance to do it, I definitely recommend it. It is a very fun convention. A few minor gripes aside. One big thing I do want to say about one of my gripes I'd mentioned earlier about the way they open the hall. We decided later in the convention it was much easier and better for us to just wait for them to open the side doors and walk in there. The other days in the con, we did that. We just waited for them to open the other doors and went in when they had done so. If you do not need to rush to try to get some sort of new release that's coming out for the holiday that's only going to be available right there at PAX, I would recommend just waiting. Just waiting by some of the side doors and wait for them to open. Because the whole being corralled into those areas, into those holding pens and waiting is really silly. And I would like them to stop doing it. But since I have no control over them stopping doing it, what the best alternative I have is just not doing it myself. So in the future, I think I'm just going to avoid trying to go in right at 10 o'clock and just instead try to go in at 10:15, 10:30 when the side doors open. So there you have it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns on my footage, feel free to put them in the comments down below. Let me know if you went to PAX Unplugged and what you thought. What were your positives? What were your negatives? Put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video and my coverage in general, be sure to check out my other videos. I did a bunch of videos, game demos, and the PAX Unplugged 2022, the experience video, as well as my haul video. Check those out. Give this video a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.